Welcome back to Resica Falls for another episode of Behind the Curtain with me, Ranger Nick. Today I wanted to talk about some of the projects that I've been able to be working on during this whole shutdown because while we haven't had people here, it's still been a lot to continue to maintain and certainly still try to make some improvements. So today I'm going to take you around to some of the areas that I've been working on. First I'll show you some of the work I've done around the falls area, some of the work I've done to totally renovate the check-in area, and then finally I'll take you over to the family cabins to see some of the renovations I've been doing over there. So here we are down at the falls area. Most of this looks pretty familiar to all of you. So one of the first projects I was working on here is trees. Sounds simple, but a lot of the trees down here were starting to get to the kind of end of their life cycle. A lot of them were locust trees that I presume were planted right about when the camp opened, so just over 60 years ago. And that's about the lifespan of a locust tree. So a lot of them were starting to get, starting to die, started to rot. So one of the first projects I did while it was still early spring into the spring was take down a lot of these locust trees, some pines that were damaged. So we've been slowly working through here, getting all these trees down just to make the parking lot a little bit safer and protect a lot of our camp equipment that we have around. So that was one of the first things I started working on. Then I was also able to do a couple improvements down by the falls area, so we'll just walk down that way, give you guys a good view of the falls. Here we have a nice little view of the falls here. River's running a little low right now. Truthfully, being able to see all the rocks, I think, is a pretty neat part of this. So we added these about a year ago, the whole bunch of signage to help direct the public and campers where they can go and not go. But some of the additions we have here kind of replace some of the old rusted cables down here with some nice fencing. Both just for the appearance and create a more safe environment. We'll have a lot of the public bringing some of their little kids down here, so we wanted to help keep those kids safe, keep them in the areas that they're supposed to go to. So we added this fence all along the rocks here. Alright, so now we are down here in the picnic grove. For most, it's a little bit cleaner, a little bit, bare looking. We did remove out a lot of the picnic tables down here because our use as a camp down here changed, so we didn't see the need for all the picnic tables, but we did still leave 2 picnic tables down here just for, whenever you wanted to come down, just sit, enjoy the falls. There used to be these old fire pits down here that were pretty beat up looking, so we did remove them. There's been quite a few dead trees that have fallen and some other dead ones that were standing, so we removed a lot of them. Once again, just to make it all a little safer. So still working on this railing a little bit, but we did improve it a little bit, adding some extra cables throughout the railing just to once again make sure to keep everyone safe, keep everyone where they're supposed to be, so that way they're staying in a safer part of the environment here. So this fence here, I put this one up a little bit while longer ago, probably like 2 or 3 years. So it's mainly to keep people out from this rocky area, which is what I would consider a more dangerous area of the falls area. just because it seems like no matter what time of year it is, the rocks down there are wet, very slippery. So it's just better to keep everyone out of there. Also at times there's sometimes it is a snake habitat for some copperheads, especially over in the really brush covered areas. That's why whenever we do troop pictures or anything down here, we'll always send a staff member down first just to make sure it's clear. And we also use this to keep people out from fishing or swimming down here. Swimming is prohibited in this area. There's too many rocks and too many issues that can arise from the swimming, and we don't want fishermen down here, just because, you know, kind of keep this as the nice pristine falls area. So this has been the falls area improvements that we have made. Following this, I'm going to take you in and show you the current progress on the White House basement check-in project. So here we are at the check-in area, mostly for the weekend check-in, basement of the White House area. This has really been one of the major projects that I've been working on during the whole shutdown here. Mostly possible from the donations of the Worcester Foundation and a couple other small donors, just to pretty much give us some funding to be able to improve camp during this whole time. So if you remember it, inside there used to be 2 small offices, some we'll say dated flooring and some other dated features. So first things first, all new doors, because some of the older ones were pretty weathered and not too weather resistant anymore. Here as we enter, it is still very much an active working area, but we've done a lot in here so far. First, when you normally walked in, there was 2 offices back over on this side. So those 2 offices were eliminated. So that way we have a nice big open floor plan down here. One big part of the whole project was redoing all the electrical down here, which is a huge undertaking. Ripping out some of the original electric, old BX wire. So we're currently getting everything totally up to code, and we have more than enough outlets down here for, you know, any use that we could use down here. So obviously a primary use down here is still going to be that check-in area, but now that we have, you know, a lot more space down here, it'll be also to be used for any conferences, any, you know, large meetings up in camp, or any trainings going on. So at either end we do have setups for, you know, some flat screen TVs for any presentations that have to go on. I will be building a new check-in desk, which will be in this corner most likely. Some of the work that we've done already, as you see, I built a little knee wall all the way around. That's because these old walls were plaster with you know, almost no studding behind them, just you know, small thin boards. So if we're doing a lot of the electricals, it was a whole lot easier for me to build these knee walls all the way around. Plus then we'll be able to do some neat stuff with some woodwork to, you know, make it look nice. We are currently in the process of re-drywalling. We're re-drywalling over all the old plaster. Just a lot of it was peeling and cracking, so I decided the easiest way to do that was to, you know, slap some new drywall on top, give it a nice fresh smooth surface to work on. We have some of these you know, dated looking radiators over here, so I'm in the process now of building some radiator boxes around them. Just kind of use some nice 1x wood that you see sitting here, create some nice faces, put some nice screening in front of it, and you just kind of, you know, nicen them up. You might see radiator boxes in some, you know, houses, but I thought it was a good use here since one entire wall here is covered in radiators. See some nice big hefty windowsills. they might be familiar from Unami. I'm actually planning on using a lot of extra building materials out of Unami Lodge to complete this project. Most of the knee wall and everything will be covered with that extra Unami wood. And here you see more of the radiator box, more of in progress. This one's almost done, slowly working on it. So what's really cool down here is we have these chaseways going all the way around, which makes for nice, easy access for adding the electrical and any maintenance to any electrical, once we're done down here. So I'm going to leave some of these accesses open. So hopefully, moving forward, hopefully once we start doing some check-in here on the weekends, this project will move forward quickly and we can, finish this up and have a very nice check-in and conference area moving forward. Next, I'll take you guys over to the family cabins and show you some of the work we've been doing over there. So here we are at the family cabins. For anyone who's not familiar, the family cabins are a grouping of 6 cabins just off of Firestone Lane that we own over here. They're generally smaller cabins. They are rented mostly by hunters and fishermen, but they are also available for scouts and scouters to come over here and rent, bringing their families or even small troop gatherings, especially if you wanted to rent multiple ones of them. At this point, just 1, 2, and 3 are normally rentable. 4, 5, and 6 are currently in a scheduled to be remodeled completely. See back this way, cabin 5. Had a good group of volunteers over the past couple years, slowly working to completely gut and remodel that one. As you can see, it's got a nice metal roof on it, all new exterior and windows done. So now we just gotta push ahead with getting the inside all put together, and that'll be a very nice cabin. So for right now, we have 1, 2, and 3 available. Generally they sleep 4. Certainly squeeze an extra person in there too if need be, with the couch and everything. But they're just nice little getaway cabins. So 1, 2, and 3, they were still in pretty good shape, but obviously still a little dated. So I just decided, while we weren't using them during this whole shutdown, to give them a little facelift. So we still have to paint the outside, but I wanted to really focus on the inside, so that way whenever we are reopening, we can instantly, welcome people back in to stay in them, figuring we can paint the outside at any point this year. So very nice little cabins. Walk in, there's a nice living room area here. It's actually quite spacious for such a small cabin. Normally we have 2 couches in here, a little TV stand. Over there's no little dining area. You notice right now there's nothing on the floors. We ripped out all the old carpets because they were very old, and generally carpets just aren't a good idea in the woods, just holding all the dirt and smells and everything. So we ripped out all the carpets. That was number 1. What is nice about these, you do have AC, there's heaters for the winter, so these are operational year-round. Yeah, pretty much a full kitchen here, full stove, oven, sink, microwave, fridge, freezer. So all the amenities that you would need in a kitchen for a small group. They do have a full bathroom, full shower, toilet, sink, and then each of them also has these 2 bedrooms. So you've seen this one where we're all done painting in here. We just got to get all the rest of the beds and everything else back in here once I finish up the floors. And there's a second bedroom, same size. Let's see, this one we left the bunks in here during the painting process. So So the main upgrades in here is going to be, you know, just giving everything a fresh coat of paint, cleaning everything up, cleaning the old curtains that were in here, and most importantly, getting the floor redone. This one actually presented itself with a nice, pretty clean concrete base. So for this one, I'm going to grind down the concrete and paint it with a nice epoxy paint, like what you see in the floor of Yanami. And then for the other two, I actually have some laminate flooring. Pretty nice. It was a donation, so I'm going to use that to do the flooring in the other two. The other two have the same floor plan, so they're all pretty identical with the 2 bedrooms. Sleeping about 4. So certainly an underutilized part of the property over here, especially for any of those scouter families that would like to use these, you know, and go on hikes, fish, or come up and be part of the hunting program. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed seeing some of the projects I've been able to work on during the whole shutdown here. I hope you guys learned a little bit about some of the different areas of camp that maybe you haven't seen before, and just seeing a lot of the work that it takes to, you know, continually update, continually make Resica greater, and hopefully we get to see you up here soon, get to see some of these projects completed, and get back camping at Resica Falls.